if it's terrible weather, then my wheels could spin and get stuck in the mud, which I have to be honest, it has happened once or twice.
Nice, easy one to start. Tell us your name.
I am Nathan Mattick.
And can you tell us how old you are?
I'm 30.
And your refereeing level?
I think I'm around 7 or 6.
Why did you become a match official?
Why did I become a match official? Well, I have always loved football since I was young, and I was given the opportunity to play football just about. And I used to use a walking frame as a kid, and I was given a sort of chance to play, and I didn't really like it, if I'm being honest. So I noticed the role of the match officials when I was watching a Premier League game with my dad, and I thought to myself, could I explain to my dad that I wanted to do it? And I said, can I do it? And we looked at the opportunity, but at that time I was too young to qualify. So then I was given the chance to officiate some of my friends' football matches during break and lunchtime, and then progressed to PE lessons, and that was pretty cool. And then I got used to it and got a bit more experience. And then when I went to my local college in Cheltenham, I said to them, I really would like to try and qualify as a match official. And on the 20th of March 2013, I was able to do what I wanted to do, which is qualify as a match official.
And I believe the first wheelchair user to qualify as a referee?
That's absolutely right, yeah. I am the first wheelchair user to qualify as a referee in the UK, and it's been the best decision I have ever made. I've met so many great people, including from people from, the Referees Association, PGMO, and some referees from grassroots all the way up to the Premier League. So I've learned from them to help me go through different things to help me within my game when I officiate football.
And what type of football do you officiate?
I referee in the Ability Council League in my local area in Gloucestershire, which is a league for those who have different sort of disabilities. And I referee between 8 games a day, which are about 15 minutes long. And I do it from February to April or May. And I really do enjoy it. Plus, it's a great opportunity for the players to play the game that they may not thought they could do it. But it's not about me, it's about them to be able to do what they love. Plus, it also gives me the opportunity to learn new skills as well and communication.
How does disability football differentiate from what we might see on TV?
Well, it's totally different. We want them to have fun, and that's the most important thing. Plus, we need to be able to use simple language for them when we give a decision, whether that's a free kick or a penalty, to help them understand why we're given that decision. Sometimes they may struggle with that, but we sometimes go to the coaches and say, this is why I have done this. Could you please explain this to your player? Because it might be easier for them to communicate that to their player.
What similarities exist in your game that exist in the Premier League?
So, similar sort of thing. We do sometimes do artificial pitches. So again, yes, it may not be used in the Premier League, but in like National League or the EFL, and it's all about there's not much similar, but we use we only are referees. There's no assistant referees, so we do 5 to 9-a-side football matches, and they're all on non-grass pitches, which helps me personally, because otherwise, if it's terrible weather, then my wheels could spin and get stuck in the mud, which I have to be honest, it has happened once or twice when I have done it on grass pitches. But again, it's all about having the players also given them the qualities to play the game as well, because then they might think, okay, I've done this, I want to progress in the leagues, because they could potentially go into the EFL Premier League. It's important to set their goals really high.
What has been your proudest achievement in the past 12 months?
To be honest, I haven't refereed for some time due to illness, so it's been great to be able to get back on the football pitch, and that was the most important thing for me, because I was a little bit concerned that potentially my consultant may have said, actually, you could not go back to the game because of X, Y, and Z. So I did 2 pre-season matches back in September, which was really good fun. I mean, I didn't really have to do much because the games were quite easier to officiate, and then I went back and did my first tournament in the Ability Counts League not too long ago, and I did about 8 games, and pretty much it was pretty nice to be back on it. Yes, there were times where I found it tricky, especially the first game, because I was trying to get my chance to get my brain back into gear for the games, because to be honest, I forgot a few things, but the most important thing was to be able to get back on that field.
Is there anyone who's gone the extra mile to help you on your journey?
Particularly, I think Steve Tanner, who was the referee development officer in Gloucestershire, and he was a former Premier League referee. I think he was the first person that helped me along to do the course, and I still do keep in contact with him today.
Was there anyone who, in particular, who inspired you to become a referee?
The most important person that inspired me to become a match official was Howard Webb. I'm sure a lot of people would say Howard, but certainly Howard in particular, because he refereed the 2010 World Cup final and the Champions League final in the same year. I think he was one of the people that wanted to help me to become a referee. But another person that I was inspired by is not a football referee, but was a former international rugby referee who refereed the 2015 World Cup final, which is Nigel Owens. And I've been lucky enough to meet him on a couple of occasions where, we've been able to keep in contact, and sometimes we have spoken over the phone and discussed different sort of things. Plus, we have been able, one thing I quite like about his officiating style was his one-liners. Now, he is now retired, but he was certainly one person that I looked up to when I wanted to become a referee.
Do you hope to inspire other people who have a disability to pursue refereeing?
I mean, I hope so. I think refereeing is for everybody, and I think football is for everyone as well. If you don't try, you never know. And this was the sort of attitude that I had, because at one point I had quite a few people within college staff saying, oh, you can't do it because you have this disability. I was like, okay, if it doesn't work for me, so be it. At least I've tried. But I prove people wrong. So if you have a dream in life, always try and go for it, because you never know, there might be so many doors that might open for you.
And what's been the reaction from players, coaches and match officials to you being a referee in a wheelchair?
Good question. I mean, mainly positive. I think my very first game was in February of 2014. Now, when I did my very first game, I wasn't entirely sure what the reaction would be to me being in a wheelchair, but it was very, very positive, and they gave me the advice, and also they welcomed me with open arms, because I was pretty scared when it came out when it was released that I was a referee, and it came out in the news as well. Yes, I did get a few people saying this is so negative, but I tried to put that behind me and think about the positive things. Plus, I think it's always important to continue and provide so much advice to others as well that may want to become a referee. Yes, I use my social media channels to try and promote refereeing as much as possible. But I think over the years to come, I'd love to see more people with different sort of abilities to become referees. You never know, we might see a referee in the Premier League in the next 10, 15 years with some sort of disability. So that's what I'd love to see. And it's always important to promote the actual game to everybody.